Due to the continuing threats of terrorism, our esteemed authorities are supposedly doing everything possible to protect us in response to a group of radical male Islamists threatening to take over or blow up our passenger airlines. They insist it's necessary to irradiate or grope everyone, including elderly women and children. For some reason, it seems that the only way our clever leaders can protect us from harm is to abuse and punish us, the people. But are they actually doing what is necessary to protect us? Back in 2006, Full Disclosure interviewed gang specialist and former Los Angeles Sheriff, Deputy Sergeant Richard Valdemar, who noted a major security lapse in the baggage handling for commercial airlines.
When I was shown the photographs of the inside of the cargo hold, I see all this graffiti, gang graffiti. Not only is it gang graffiti, but rival gang graffiti, where they've been crossing each other out inside the cargo hold, which is very dangerous. You know, I would not only be afraid that these baboons are handling my luggage and fighting with each other in a luggage compartment, but you know, they're going to bring a gun, you know, because there's rivals and they're gang members. They're going to bring guns, and you're just going to liable to have a shooting right there. And she told me, well, they actually did find a loaded gun on the tarmac. So I said, how did a loaded gun get on the tarmac, you know, in the airport? And then I found out that these people don't pass through the metal detectors like we do as passengers. Because they're airline employees, they were going around the system and handling the planes and the luggage, you know, without being checked. And obviously nobody did a background check on them because they would have found this gang history.
In fact, during an earlier interview with United States Attorney Deborah Yang, she noted the same security issue, the same issue that alarmed Sergeant Valdemar 2 years later.
There was a gap at the airports, and people who had high security badges, so did not have to pass through the magnetometers, and actually had access to the tarmacs and to the airplanes. And so we took a look at all those individuals to see who was properly there and who wasn't, and those who were not, we charged with a crime.
Aha! Our justice system caught the bad guys before they could blow up the airliner. You may wonder why Sergeant Valdemar still found gang graffiti on the interior of the plane 2 years later. Here's why.
As it turned out, some of them, you know, might have been out of status and those types of things, and so we charged them with a misdemeanor, or we just, you know, if it didn't turn into anything, we didn't do anything with them, but they were taken out of their jobs because we needed to tighten security at the airport. There were some individuals that we found had prior convictions that had never been disclosed to us, and so, you know, those were certainly people you would not want to have access to the airplanes.
Now, when you said they were out of status, what does that mean?
It turned out that some of them were illegally here in this country, and so therefore shouldn't hold that type of job, and had indicated on the application form that they were, U.S. citizens or legal residents when they in fact had not been.
These employees, is it possible that they are foreign nationals?
I'm sure it's possible that some of them are. I don't know what background check they did on them, but obviously wasn't adequate.
In response to our concern that gangs and perhaps foreign nationals could have access to the planes at our airports, we were reminded of the policies as stated by our LA District Attorney. That, in fact, immigration status isn't even considered in their prosecutions.
Hi, this is Sandy Gibbons at the District Attorney's Office for Leslie Dutton. I talked to everybody, you know, our hardcore gang people, and there's no one that can appear on the show. And also, they also agree with me that it would be inappropriate for them to be on a show with a discussion of immigration policies, because our prosecutions don't have anything to do with immigration policies.
Even the feds weren't serious about going after people who were here illegally and conspiring to get access to the tarmacs. If they falsified their forms, does that mean then that you would prosecute them? Or were there instances where you wouldn't prosecute them for falsifying forms?
We could have prosecuted all of them, but what we did is we took a very close look at the individuals. It was a very compelling circumstance. Many people in the community came to me directly to talk to me about the situation. There were certainly, as I mentioned to you, there were certainly ones who had prior convictions and they were charged with felonies. There were also some people who were out of status illegally here or shouldn't have had that particular position, had falsified the form, but had very compelling family circumstances where they had children in this country, had been living here for a number of years, and so we did what we thought was appropriate and not charged them with a particular crime.
Not believing what we heard, we asked United States Attorney Deborah Yang to clarify what she said.
There are circumstances by which people can falsify forms and be in the country illegally but not be prosecuted.
That's right, but they would have to go through an immigration hearing.
Immigration hearing. We sought to get someone from the Superior Court to come on camera and tell us how the court deals with illegal aliens who attempt to subvert our way of life. No problem, according to them.
Jerry and Hazler, LA Superior Court, calling for Leslie Dunton. And Leslie, you had called about a judge appearing on your program, Full Disclosure, with regard to the undocumented alien situation. And I've talked to a number of judges, and all of them tell me the same thing, and that is undocumented aliens are not treated any differently from anyone else who goes through the criminal justice system.
So we're being asked to subject ourselves to the most intimate searches of our persons and property, while gang members with felony convictions and people who are here in this country illegally are wandering around the tarmacs with impunity. This has been going on for years, and nothing has changed except that we are being required to show what's in our underwear. We want to know what you think. Please respond to our survey and leave your comments and vote below. Number 1. Do you think that baggage handlers and airline employees should be required to at least go through the magnetometers? Yes or no? Number 2. With the historical problems with airport security personnel, do you think that TSA employees have been properly vetted and screened? Yes or no? And number 3, do you think that the lack of law enforcement interest regarding illegal alien arrests and prosecutions have contributed to airport insecurity? Yes or no? Please be sure to vote and leave your comments below. I'm Leslie Dutton. Thank you.